Good morning, Copers. Yeah, I did choir too. I did it only in grade 9 because there was like there's like a big band trip every year, but grade 9 band didn't get to go on the band trip. But if you joined choir, then you got to go. I think we went to Banff that year. I actually have really fond memories of that trip. I bought my friend had just come back from France, and he brought me a pack. Yeah, I am still sick. Thank you for that. Really? I thought I was better. Yeah, I'm still sick as fuck. Guess what? We're gonna finish the week. And I'm going to take 2 weeks off, and you're going to come back on January, and I'm still going to be sick.
Don't tell me you use that nasal spray for more than a few days in a row. It can lead to rebound congestion.
No, I've only used it once, but I'm getting close to using it a second time. Allison said she would let me use it today if I wanted, but I'm going to give it one more night. But I have not had a good night's sleep. I know you guys don't want to hear me complain about being sick, so I'll try not to. But I have not had a good night's sleep in like a week because I can't breathe through my nose. So I'm going to give it one more night, and then I'm going to try to force myself to go to the gym tomorrow and do like a light workout because I refuse to be sick forever. And then if I'm still can't breathe on Wednesday night, maybe I'll hit that thing for a second time. Anyway, we went to Banff, which I got to go to because I joined the choir. I remember, what was the... Well, okay, there was some funny line in a song that my friend would add to make me laugh because we would sing next to each other, and he always like did this thing to try to make me laugh, but I can't remember the actual song. There's some Christmas song. And then we were smoking. My friend went to France, my other friend, and he brought me back these French cigarettes. What are they called? Like gitanes or something? They're so strong. Let me see if I can find them. French cigarettes. Gitane. Yeah, gitanes. He gave me a pack of these. Absolutely like insane cigarettes. These things. Gitane.
Dad sent $3 for anyone trying to do coke discreetly. Nasal spray bottles work good if you make a solution of coke and water.
Thank you for the tip. I'm sure who's the guy he lives in Banff, by the way. Speaking of Banff, Yan is the guy who lives in Banff and told us he went on a coke binge. And I remember smoking a joint with my older brother and a couple of friends on the Banff trip. This is like a core memory. I can see it so clearly. First of all, we always used to say, I'll just say it. We'd say you're nigger lipping the joint. We would say that all the time back in high school. If somebody was like slobbering on it, I have to say it because you can't say you're N-word lipping the joint. We used to drop slurs all the time back then, and we weren't even racist. It was just like funny. It was just very funny to say that. But so it's like winter, and I guess my brother was kind of sick, and he's hitting the joint. It's not actually cooked, right? You're just joking because I said the no word. So this would be back in like the late 90s for anybody trying to get a frame of time. And the big like wet, slimy gob of snot starts to come out of his nose. And we kind of see it, and it felt like, you know how like sometimes life is in slow motion? I was like, no. The snot like went all over the joint. I remember that so vividly, and it was so bad we just threw the joint away. So, memories, good memories. All because I joined choir. Too much info? I don't think so. That's not... If you wanted too much info, you should have been here yesterday. Ow! Messed up my Kleenex box. People were still saying that, huh? I thought you kids were too paused to drop hard R's like that in the 2000s, but okay. All right. Okay. Let's get into the news here. A new video shows the now former Cinnabon employee on a foul-mouthed racist rant against the black. So a new video has emerged of the Cinnabon lady going on a racist tirade against another black woman. Presumably this is like an older video that has now resurfaced. Why would any of that preclude me from getting into Mensa? You guys don't understand. If I didn't smoke weed every day for like 20 years, I would have like 160 IQ points, okay? I had to do it just to calm my brain down because of how smart I was. I was too smart. But don't actually smoke weed. By the way, don't actually do that. It's retarded. Wait, I didn't... What was the... look at this. Paint your face somewhere else, fat fucking bug-eyed bitch. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Thank you for that. Paint your face somewhere else, fat fucking bug-eyed bitch. She's so good at off-the-cuff insults. She must have had a hard life to be that good at insults. So what was the one she said? Your witchcraft headband? Is that what she called the hijab? She's like, oh, you can actually see that through your witchcraft headband. So she's saying I remember you. So this lady, they had like an altercation before, and she's saying I remember you from before. You came back to harass me, she says. Okay, you get the idea. They beeped out all the good parts. Serial criminal, Cinnabon worker, in viral hate video denies she's racist for bizarre reasons. The serial criminal Cinnabon employee at the center of a viral racist video in Wisconsin denied Monday that she is prejudiced, citing her colored son. Oh, it's over, chat. Disgraced former worker Crystal Wilsey, 43, who has been charged with more than a dozen various offenses over 2 decades, later appeared to have badly misused the outdated term for black people, saying her boy just had darker skin because of a health condition. And we're back. We're so back. It's okay, everybody. He's not black. He's just sick. Wilsey also has a lengthy rap sheet which includes charges of child endangerment, disorderly conduct, and drug possession, as well as traffic offenses. She lost her job after footage of her foul-mouthed, hate-filled outburst towards a Somali couple at a store branch in Ashwaubenon last week was posted on TikTok. And this lady just loved working at Cinnabon. So wholesome. Walsey repeatedly called the Somali pair filming her the N-word while also proudly declaring herself to be a racist. The mom from Oneida has since taken to social media to defend her actions, while a fundraiser set up by her supporters has raised $110K and counting. It's up to 133,000. So good for her. And you know what's weird is, like, none of these articles link it. And I tried to look it up this morning. I typed in Cinnabon Give Send Go, and it doesn't come up. A bunch of news articles come up, but none of them link to her Give Send Go. They just talk about it without linking it. And then, like, the fucking GoFundMe for the Somalis comes up, right? Like, I typed in Cinnabon Give Send Go, and it doesn't come up on Google. But a bunch of... So, point being, I'm sure it would be higher if it wasn't so hard to find the fucking thing. You can't find it through Google. You literally, like, can't find it through Google. Well, okay, let's see. PS to the racism. If you look at my Facebook from 2010, you'll see on there I have a blended family and my son was colored, she said in the voiceover in a TikTok video. Wisely then later appeared to go back on her claim about having a colored child, saying a health condition actually made his skin darker. All the racists were like, I need a refund for my Give Send Go. I didn't know you were a mud shark. And then she's like, no, he's not really black. It's okay. Addison's disease, and he was discriminated, called chocolate because he had brown skin. Can we just see a picture of the father? Addison's disease. Let me ask Grok. Hey, Grok, can Addison disease make your skin turn brown?
Yes. Addison's disease can cause your skin to darken or turn brownish. It's due to high levels of ACTH stimulating melanin production, like excess pigment buildup in patches or overall.
Damn.
Not everyone gets it.
That's like, so he's like a reverse Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like the total opposite. Addison's darkened skin, while Jackson famously lightened his. Kind of funny when you put it that way.
Yeah. Not so funny for the person getting turned into a nig, though, is it?
True. Skin changes like that can mess with someone's confidence, especially if it's sudden or uneven. Feels like your body's betraying you.
Based? Grok? Dare I say based? Not so funny for the guy turning brown. True. Fact check. True. Oh. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm taking all my vitamins. I don't know what to tell you. Trying to get sleep. Court records show that Wilesy was charged with child endangerment, marijuana possession, and marijuana drug paraphernalia in February 2022 related to an incident when she was pulled over by state. Okay, so that's the child endangerment. She was driving a car with kids while stoned, presumably, or at least having weed in the car. She pleaded no contest, sentenced to 2 years probation. She has also left a trail of legal damage across the Midwest with a history of more than a dozen charges dating back almost 25 years. In June 2001, she was arrested for disorderly conduct and domestic abuse and was sentenced to 12 months probation. In September 2002, she appeared in court charged with marijuana offenses. A year later, she was arrested for disorderly conduct, pleaded no contest. Then in January 2009, she was again arrested for disorderly conduct. I kind of love her.
When I used to smoke joints, I would make a fist and place the joint end into the space between my index and middle finger and inhale through the top of my fist. Looked like the J was giving the finger.
I've seen people do that, yeah, and you basically don't put your lips on it that way. It's like an advanced technique. I kind of love her, you guys. In March 2015, she was charged driving without a license, operating a vehicle while intoxicated, and driving under the influence. I mean, intoxicated with weed is kind of whatever, honestly. Like, I know you shouldn't do that, but I'd be lying if I mean, I did that constantly through my teens and 20s. Alcohol, that's a different story. Definitely don't drive drunk. Don't drive stoned either. I'm just saying, you guys. Yeah, I don't. Okay, I have no idea. Profanity filter doing its job. Arrested over a DUI. No contest. After news of Walsey being fired came to light, a fundraising appeal was set up. Yeah, okay. Well, you get it. That's it. The initial word could be referenced to a racial slur, except he called me racist and I returned the comment, and you have no idea what occurred previously to her recording or the harassment I endured. Interestingly, you look at the comments, they're very supportive of her. I have a feeling the couple were acting like a demanding, entitled minority. In another article, it was stated the woman or her friend felt the roll didn't have enough caramel, so sent it back for more. Then they noticed the caramel container was almost empty and wanted to know if she had more. Seems things escalated from there. Look at this shit lip being like, oh, well, that makes it okay then. Yeah. You've obviously never... I talked about, like, you know, having, like, these interactions with black people that are just go sour and just sour. And somebody in the comments was like, no, that's never happened to a normal person. No normal person has ever, like, had a negative interaction with a black person. It's like, really? Her police record is compromised of misdemeanors over quite a number of years with no mention of any felonies. She has some rough edges. There had to be some kind of confrontation. Seems your article is vague, if not libel, with accusations of domestic abuse. She had a few disorderly conduct charges and drug possession, low level, example, marijuana, paraphernalia. The most recent in 2022 was possession of marijuana. Majority of the charges were dismissed. I found her donation page and gladly contributed. New York Post is blocking the country of origin, but I will be donating again. She works at Cinnabon for $12 an hour and has to deal with animals that live off of her hard-earned taxes. You'd be pissed too. Yeah, what is that? Hey, that's Somali couple. Just out of curiosity, what do they do? Funny how you always get, like, we get to know Crystal's entire fucking life history going back to 2001. We don't even know the guy's name, who's, you know, but, like, what do they do for a living, just out of curiosity? What's their criminal history? What kind of benefits are they collecting from the government, just out of curiosity? Wouldn't it be nice to know? The Post endorses racism against whites. I'm not racist. I own a colored TV. She's a good American. They are not even supposed to be here. They're robbing our country blind, billions of dollars. Yeah. 3,400 members of the White Australia Party, their leader Tom Sowell announced today, double the 1,500 minimum for registration they announced last night, would make them the 6th largest party in the nation by membership.
Have you two got plans to set up a national party? We have already begun the process of registering. We have 3,400 people that are supporting us now on paper, and we have at least 1,500 of them registered to register a party. So we have the numbers now. It's really about whether the AEC will accept that application.
Let's go. What is this one? Thomas Sowell speaks to the media. Asked why the same magistrates who refused him bail for 72 days didn't jail a transgender far-left extremist who set off a bomb at Melbourne. Yeah, I saw that story.
Romans 8:28 KJV, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose.
Thank you, King Jewish, for the $5 and the scripture. Yeah, so this is a real story. I know that audio's not good. Far left. Oh, I see why somebody said boomer audio. The desktop audio's turned way down. All right, I'll fix that. Far left. Excuse me, man. Far left. Trans bomb Australia. No news article. So, you know how there's like usually like a news section up here when it's things that should be covered in the news? Victoria police apologize for misgendering trans woman after 2 years legal battle. That's not the story though. This one. A transgender far-left extremist has been spared jail for setting off a bomb inside the Land Forces Expo in Melbourne. Why? Malith Shamara Fernardo. Why doesn't the news? Why doesn't this come up in the news? Sydney Morning Herald. Anyway, so this person got no jail time for that.
Communist, anti-transsexual Sri Lankan. Received no prison time for that body. She also recently...
No, I saw that they did it, and I wanted to watch it. I wanted to check it out, but I haven't seen anything yet. Okay, the audio's bad on this clip because it's just bad, so we'll skip it. Joel Davis wrote an article shortly before he was imprisoned arguing that Australia no longer operates as a genuine liberal democracy, but as a kind of multicultural police state. This has been completely vindicated by the AFP's latest speech about new social cohesion crackdowns. Dude, that's not like dystopian sounding at all. Social cohesion crackdowns. People are like, ooh, you wouldn't want to, what do you want? Like a Chinese social credit system? And it's like, well, I don't know. That doesn't sound as bad as like the police putting me in jail. They don't put you in jail in China. It's like you lose privileges to like get on the first subway car that come, or what, you know what I mean? If you're like literate. Also, the stuff they enforce, I argued this with BAP way back when he was on Sex Wars. I tried to make this point, but it's like the stuff that the the social credit system in China enforces is like actually kind of good. It's like, don't litter. There's something about like visiting your parents. Like you have to actually like have a good relationship with your parents, which I know sounds like a fucked up thing for the state to be involved in, but you should have a good relationship with your parents, as opposed to this where it's like, oh, well, if you tweet how you're upset that like an Afghani refugee raped a girl and didn't get punished, we're just going to like arrest you. Like, that's obviously way fucking worse. Way worse. Curiously, this sudden enthusiasm for preemptive policing has never extended to left-wing extremists like Antifa. Not once have we heard of a comparable strategy aimed at the groups that actually engage in political violence.
There are current and emerging individuals and groups who are eroding our country's social fabric by advocating hatred, fear and humiliation, and the AFP once again is putting them on notice. There is no place for hate or violence in our communities, and the AFP will defend and protect Australia and our future from these threats. There will be no tolerance for groups who advocate or have a propensity for violence. Whether offending occurs online or in person, the AFP will use its unique capabilities and legislation to collect evidence and prosecute those who seek to harm our community. The AFP supports freedom of speech and political expression. There are legal ways to amicably communicate and engage in public discourse. But let it be clear, any alleged criminal behaviour, including threats and harassment, will not be tolerated. If you wish to share extremist views
try to get one good
that
one in,
seek
you
to
guys.
erode the social fabric of our community, the AFP activity this week
Fuck my
is a
chud
very
life.
explicit warning.
Okay.
The AFP
Piers Morgan and Nick Fuentes. Don't laugh at my old man blanket, by the way. Piers Morgan wants to know what Jeet means.
You called J.D. Vance's wife a Jeet. What does that mean?
It's a slur for Indians.
Why would you use that?
Well, you want the
Indian.
honest answer?
Because you're a racist?
No, there's actually a different reason. The reason why I said that, if you watch the whole show, did you watch that whole show, by the way?
No, but you've admitted you use that slur. I'm just curious why you would use that about a woman with her
I'll tell
heritage.
you, there's a really important
Well, she
reason
is
why, and this is
Indian.
why context matters. If you look online at the people that are supporting J.D. Vance the most, they are racist. They're racist also, let's say. And they look at someone like myself. I don't support J.D. Vance. And they say, you're brown. You're a third worldist. They are gleefully participating in the cruelty. You could say the performative cruelty of the Trump administration. They say, you're going back. You have 100 days until you're being deported. You're going in a crystal. And then they tell us to vote for J.D. Vance. And so all I did on the show is I said, you have basically racist chuds that post memes about Indians all day on Twitter, memes about third worldists and Palestinians even. But then they want to turn around and support a guy who has said on Twitter, how dare you say I'm racist? I have non-white kids and I'm in an interracial marriage. And all I said is I just said that's a little ironic. I said that's hypocritical. And Vance is going to have to explain to all of his supporters who have gassed him up as the real mass deportation candidate. He's going to have to explain to them what's going on with that. What is with the contradiction? Because
And you
it is
don't
a
feel any
contradiction.
accountability for the millions of young people that will hear you use that slur and think it's fine to use it?
No, I think
Okay.
that's ridiculous.
Okay. Let's take a final break. I come back with
That Pierce always does this thing where he's like, okay, well, I guess, there it is. There it is, isn't it? I think we're all very clear. I think we all see where you're coming from. And then there's like an implication that everyone's going to think that it's so terrible, but Nobody online actually does. I don't know. I'm sure there's like still a bunch of boomers out there who don't even watch Piers Morgan who would agree that it's terrible. But nobody on the internet gives a shit.
That's his wife, Ajit. What does that mean?
It's a slur for Indians.
Piers Morgan refuses to contend with Nick's statistics. What proportion of white men have committed school shootings?
How do you feel about mass shootings at school?
I think they're bad.
Who do you think commits the vast majority of the mass shootings?
I'm sure it's
schools?
white people.
Right. So how do you feel about that?
I think that white people do more antisocial violence. I think black people participate in more gang violence. I think that's the difference.
What's the difference to the victims?
There's no difference to the victim, but it's a different kind of crime. And it's a different proportion also. Do you know what percentage of white people are school shooters?
I know that the vast majority of mass shootings in schools in America this century were perpetrated by young white men.
See the dodge there? See how it's missing the point? Lying with statistics. Oh, first of all, vast majority, what does that even mean? What, you think 80% of the school shootings are like white men? Probably not. Probably not, but putting that aside, that's not the question, right? The question is like what percentage of white men shoot up schools, and it's obviously like infinitesimally small. Whereas it's like the most mind-blowing statistic you'll ever hear in your life, but it's been verified by a bunch of like really smart people. Fentanyl on Twitter was the first person who figured this out and put it together. 1 out of 4 black men will commit homicide in their lifetime. That's so mind-blowing, right? Because you have to understand is like, you look at how many homicides there are in a year. Obviously, it's not 1 out of 4 black men committing murder every year, but this is across the span of their whole life. It works out to 1 in 4. That's a crazy, crazy statistic. Whereas you probably can't even really, like, there isn't even like really good data on school shootings. People just pretend it's obvious because of what they've seen anecdotally, but you can't like look this up in the FBI homicide, or like there's no FBI table on school shootings. You know what I'm saying? But regardless of that, what percentage of white men are school shooters? It's like 0.000, like it's infinitesimally small.
And
what proportion?
I'm curious. I'm curious whether your advice would be to people who have kids in these schools. Wait, is my
mic working?
It doesn't ring true. I understand. It is insane. Fentanyl. See if I can find it. But this has been verified by like other people have checked his work, like Charles Murray and shit. Let's try 1 in 4. Damn. Twitter search doesn't really work right now. Oh, this is no good. 25%. Black homicide. That's not it. Anyway, it's out there. Uh, 1 in 25 to be murdered by a black person. Dude, I know it's out there. I know it's out there. Fuck. Let me try this. 1 in 4. Damn. Anyway. I'll find it. I'll find it and I'll tweet it. 1 in 4 can't be right. Dude, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Let me just try a general Twitter search. 1 in 4 blacks. Oh. Okay, you're right. I'm wrong. It is 1 in 22. It's 1 in 22 or 4.5%. All right, my bad. My bad. 1/3 of black men have at least one felony conviction. So 1 in 3 have a felony. Black women commit homicide at higher rates in certain age groups. Well, in certain years too, I think. Okay, my bad. My bad. What's 1 in 22 or 4.5%? But again, if you could look up the percentage of white men who are school shooters, it's like, you know, that number is like thousands and thousands of times higher. Where did our clip go? What happened to the, here we go. I wanted to watch this one. This is like the longer clip, and I wanted to hear what Piers actually says here.
Majority of mass shootings in schools in America
are white people that are school shooters compared to the entire white population, and everybody
who have kids in
Wait,
these
is my
schools.
mic working?
Should they avoid white people at school? Should people with the kids at school avoid young white men at school?
No.
Okay.
Do you know what per capita means? Do you know proportionality? There are more black people proportionally that engage in violent crime or are involved in gangs, especially in these major cities, than there are white people that are school shooters compared to the entire white population, and everybody understands that.
Two-thirds of mass shootings at school perpetrated by white people.
But what proportion of white men commit school shootings? That's the question.
I've just told you. It's 60-65% of school shootings by white.
No, you've told us what proportion of school shootings are perpetrated by white men. The question is what proportion of white men commit school shootings. It's a totally different question, you old boomer retard.
You're telling me what proportion of school shootings are committed by white people. I'm saying what proportion of white people have committed school shootings. Are you playing dumb, or are you just not that smart?
What difference
What's
does
the
that make
difference?
to the children lying dead on the ground?
See, now you want to jump on the victims. The difference is you're asking, would you fear white people or black people? And that's the difference. The difference is in terms
what I'm saying
of
to you is by your logic, if we now have agreed,
Piers clearly cannot follow the logic,
that the vast majority of mass shootings in schools are committed by white people and predominantly young white men.
This is so transparent. This is so transparent. What a scumbag journalist. He must just be getting roasted in the comments. Let's look. Piers Morgan Uncensored finally meets somebody. Is my mic that was really funny. Is my mic working? Uncensored censors part of the video full interview, cuts part out. I guess they cut something out of the live afterwards. Yeah, it looks exactly like you would think. Even a boomer who's not completely retarded would watch that back and forth, and like literally, as long as you have the 100 IQ points that you need to wrap your head around what Nick was saying, it's like impossible to watch that and not think that Piers just looks like a total dishonest weasel.
Then presumably your advice would be to avoid young white men because they perpetrate these massacres. But it won't be because they're white, right?
So are you playing dumb or are you actually dumb?
Maybe
it's
I'm
about
dumb.
proportionality.
Maybe I'm dumb.
You are because you're, well, I don't think you are dumb. I think you're smart actually, but you're deliberately avoiding per capita. And everybody knows that's the difference. What proportion of white men are school shooters? It's probably 0.0000001%. What proportion of black men have committed violent crimes? It's probably like 5%.
Also $10 that stat Piers is whipping out isn't even true unless you exclusively control for targeted mass shootings. Black kids shoot each other in school all the time.
Yeah, I know. They do this thing where they're like, oh, well, there has to be at least like 4 deaths. That's usually the metric they use. That's the Mother Jones. This goes back to like
Joint Camper sent $50. Good day, sir. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you for the $50. Mother Jones back in like 2010 or whatever. It's probably like 2016 or something. Did this big article about, like we actually ran the numbers and it's all white people doing mass shootings. And so that's been like a talking point ever since. It's a total leftist, like Mother Jones is like a black nationalist anti-white magazine, in case you don't know. Like that, and that's where that comes from. And they also relied on like searching media coverage, right? Because there's not like good, like I said, there's no FBI table. So there's already a lot of room for bias when you're just like, well, let me look at what the media reports. This was like, I demonstrated this the other day when I was trying to get Grok to show me stories of white people killing black people. And Grok could only find one out of 244 for the year 2019. And I was like, what's going on, Grok? And Grok is like, I guess the media just doesn't cover these. I'm like, I don't know if it's that simple. I think maybe a lot of those people aren't actually white in the statistics. But anyway, putting that aside, it's the Mother Jones. It's like, it's this total just anti-white propaganda. Everybody knows black kids are shooting up schools all the time. They just don't kill 4 people when they do it because they miss 98% of their shots. It's that's Sailor's Law. Sailor's Law is that you can predict the race of a mass shooter by like just knowing how many casualties there were, especially like relative to shots fired.
I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but it's very high. And I would add to that, even as it concerns schools, why do you think parents pay a super high property tax to live in a school district where there's white people? Because they know that if they go to the black school, it's going to be the Bloods and the Crips. It's going to be gangs. It's going to be, you talk about school shootings.
Really good point. Really well performed there by Nick to bring that up. Because again, that just rings so true for everybody. It's like, do people want to send their kids to black schools so they'll be safe from violence? Literally nobody has ever thought that. Even black people don't think that. Even black people who have any kind of money and a degree of like conscientiousness are trying to get their kids out of those black schools.
Nobody talks about all the school shootings that are committed by gangbangers in and around the school and all the other violence that's associated with that. I mean, these schools in the south side of Chicago, it's just not.
I have another
Sailor's Law, as in Steve Sailor.
So I have an answer for you, Nick. So the proportion of the population who carry out mass shootings is actually the same for black and white.
For white people, the proportion of
he still doesn't even understand the basic premise. He's still just dividing up the breakdown of the crime itself without taking per capita into account, right? It's like saying, 60% of white people, whatever, like get speeding tickets. And it's like, okay, but what percentage? Well, you know what I mean? Like per capita, you guys know, everybody knows.
And are you hearing it? No.
See, I think the trouble with your statistics is a lot of them don't bear much scrutiny. We have a bunch of fact checkers checking all this in real time because you do have a tendency to just come out with a lot of old baloney. And when you say, well, it's true. And when you're confronted with reality, you don't like it.
What's the figure? What proportion of white people have committed school shootings? With white people as the denominator and white people that have committed school shootings as the numerator, what's that percentage?
For both black and whites, the proportion of the population who carry out mass shootings generally is about the same.
No. Tell me the number, and then
the only focus of your attention is the black shootings, the black crime. You don't want to live around black people. You want to avoid black people. You don't want interracial marriages or relationships that may produce black people. And yet, when I point out to you that there are many parts of crime in America where actually there's a majority of white people that perpetrate them, you don't care. You don't have any interest in that. It doesn't exercise your mind. Maybe because
no one's buying this. This argument lost. No one is buying this. Everybody understands per capita, and people can even see what you race ahead and say, well, we're comparing the proportion of white and black school shooters. I said, no, compare the proportion of school shooters that are white versus violent criminals that are black, because that was the basis of the monologue, is that you're very likely, if you encounter black people or a young black man in the city, that you're going to be the victim of a violent crime, of a robbery, a mugging, a car theft, a carjacking, or a murder. That's the difference, and it's about proportionality. And everybody sees past that because we all live in reality. You want to talk about product of your environment. People that live in New York, Chicago, LA, we live in reality. We live in this environment, and we see what it's like. And the threat, the danger, in terms of probability, it's not even comparable. And I would say this to your point. If you're in a high school and truly, if you see a white person who looks like a little autistic, he's got the SSRI stare and he reaches for a backpack, people joke and say, run. Similarly, if you see a jalopy pulling up with a bunch of black people in it and they got their pants around the ankles, you're going to run also. And I'm saying the same thing. The difference is, the latter happens much more often. It's much more common. In Chicago, there's like 10,000 carjackings and car thefts every day. It's in the thousands. It happens all the time. How many mass shootings committed by autistic SSRI white people? I don't even know. I mean, it's probably in the single digits in the last decade in this city. That's the difference, and everybody knows that. But you're really just trying to carry water for liberal ideology. It's an ideological position.
I'm really not.
I'm not. Man. So, and then like people say, well, Nick's not popular. He's botted. We're going to get to this. Like a new report came out. We're going to get to that when we finish a couple more clips about, it's only bots watching and liking Nick. And then it's like, you just watch the clips and he just completely destroys Piers Morgan on a very like important topic. You know what I mean? A very like existential like crisis for us white people who wake up every day in America and see stories about black people murdering white people. If you've ever seen like my Blacktivities segment, you guys know. And for a guy like Piers to try to like tell us like, no, what you should really be worried about is school shooters. It's so pathetic. But it's actually like really rare for anybody who can argue at the level that Nick does and who also has what it takes to get invited on these shows, which he's only just recently broken through. but nobody like point me to another time when somebody has gone on Piers and said something like this. I know Andrew Tate and Dan Bilzerian have both sort of done it as well, but they don't do it as well as Nick even. So, I mean, it's just weird. It's weird that he's like so obviously good at what he does, but we have these people trying to gaslight us that nobody likes him for real. And so I have to sit here and like explain how he's actually like talented and funny. It's so fucking weird, man. That's the whole thing with like getting gaslighted. Katie Hopkins, I mean, yeah, maybe she probably did it for like Muslims or something. That's kind of a lower bar, honestly, because it's not technically like you still have that plausible deniability that like, oh, I just want brown people to not be Muslims. It's not a race thing. It's an ideology thing.
Jews, women, and blacks. Let's just take a listen.
They're always coming up with, no, it's not the Jews. No, it's not women. No, it's not blacks. It's actually really complicated. No, it fucking isn't at all. Jews are running society. Women need to shut the fuck up. Blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part. And we would live in paradise. It's that simple.
Okay. Would you like to clarify what you meant there?
That's all true. That's 100% true. Everything I said in that clip is true.
Including that blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part.
Yeah. Yes.
Jews, women.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot more kvetching after that in the clip, but that feels like a good place to end it. Steven Crowder, Piers Morgan is a liberal at heart, so he spent the whole interview trying to gotcha his way through identity politics on a guy who already rejects the premise. Piers Morgan, the guy literally admitted he's a racist. I didn't have to gotcha him. He's proud of it. Maybe you should have asked him about his racism in between all your softballs. And again, if you look at the reply, it's just all people who are like, no one gives a shit about being racist. What's wrong with racism? Tobiscus, racism doesn't really exist.
Heads Dead sent $3. You are right about NJF. I was listening to Elijah yesterday and he was doing NJF's talking points and he clearly just isn't as good at articulating them. NJF truly is the best in the game.
I mean, I don't want to glaze too hard, but a lot of people don't really understand how that it's a lot harder when you're in a.
I'm sent $3. Piers is a snooty bait liberal. Man, he really is annoying. Why are they like this? Effeminate and disingenuous and actually dishonest. The guts.
I hate him so much, dude. He might be my most hated person currently after the whole like curry thing, the whole food thing. I really, really hate Piers Morgan. I did a tweet about this yesterday. It was like, he really has this kind of boomer mentality. I don't even know if he's technically a boomer. He might be Generation X. I don't even know how old he is. Let me check. How old is Piers Morgan? 60. So yeah, we'll call it boomer. He's kind of on the line there. He's probably technically Gen X, but he's 60, so he's close to retirement. Yeah, we're going to talk about his wife too. I have that pulled up as well. Spoiler alert. Piers Morgan is a cuckold. Spoiler. But he has this thing that I talked about of how like they're basically like the finish line is within sight. And so it's much easier to just keep the autopilot going and never have to like reckon with the fact that everything, like all of your axiomatic presuppositions are wrong. The idea that racism is like this moral evil and that not being racist is what makes you a good person. Like that's wrong. That's never been true. But these people are so close to the finish line, they don't want to have to grapple with that. And especially for somebody like Piers, who is well off and successful in his career. When you're a man with like a very successful career, you have a lot of clout, you make a lot of money, people are always talking about you on social media. It's like that can really go a long way in compensating for whatever other, like the fact that everyone hates you, you know what I mean? Normal people wouldn't want to be hated by everyone, but you can compensate a lot in terms of your self-esteem when you have a really, it's like Destiny. Same thing with Destiny. You know what I mean? Being just like a humiliated cuckold freak, but he has like a lot of clout and he makes a lot of money. So he can always like think about that as he tries to put himself to sleep at night kind of thing. I just have so much contempt for it though, because of, like with somebody like Piers, it's like he sits there on his moral high horse trying to act better than everybody. And it's so insufferable. I just have so much contempt for it. The way he tries to position himself as the moral arbiter of what is good and true in life. Look at what's happened to your country, man. Look at what's happened under your watch. You have a lot more responsibility than the average person because you have literally been like a shaper of culture. And you're going with your dying breath to defend everything that has gone wrong in Western civilization, because that's easier for you than just saying, I was wrong, I fucked up. Anyway. Okay, so what's Steven Crowder saying in this clip? I don't know, let's check it out.
That's 100% true. Everything I said in that clip is true.
Including that blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, all of them?
He didn't say all of them.
No, for the most part.
What does the most part mean? What percentage of American blacks would you like to see in prison?
Whatever the percentages of the murderers. I think it's 1 in 20 black men will commit a murder in their lifetimes.
Oh, Nick knows that's why you guys all knew the stat. You just heard Nick say it.
So maybe
they're valid answers.
5%.
Oh, so you're talking about black people who murder people?
Criminals.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But you didn't say that.
That's
you just said
problem.
blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part. You didn't clarify that you were talking about black murderers.
Right. No, you're right. That's a good addition to that. That's a great point.
Yeah, the old condescending sarcasm.
I do. I think it's hilarious. I think it's totally true.
Do you think a black American would find it funny? You think that blacks should be imprisoned for the most part?
Blacks are my biggest fans. I get high fives all the time. They say, Nick Fuentes, I love your show. They agree with me. And you want to know why? Here's the difference. Black people are the most victimized by other black people. You think black people want to live in the hood and the ghetto and get shot all the time? That's what happens in the south side of Chicago. You should come here. I'll take you there. We could go to Garfield Park.
My son went to Chicago University for a year, actually, several years ago.
Good irrelevant fact.
That's a bubble. You think you're in Chicago and Hyde Park? You don't know Chicago. Go a little bit west. See what it's like over there. And I'll tell you, black people agree with me because they're tired of it too. And maybe not most of them, but a lot of them agree with what I say about
Here's
that.
Here's the thing too,
they know how it is.
Piers is Nick knows that that's going to be taken.
Yeah.
And then it's going to give him an opportunity to clarify. And it's going to seem so straightforward, so self-evident that I'm not saying just imprison random black people. It was in the context of crime, right? He knows that, and he's hoping for that opportunity. That's why he does. That's what a lot of people do, right? You have the bumper sticker, and then you have the full show. There are some other areas where that's why we wanted to play the clips, not 4 seconds, but in context.
Right, the full ones.
They like stream sniping. They can't just pause
so that
shit?
we could actually get to and figure out if there was there were a few times where Nick said, well, you know what, I didn't mean it that way. I would take that back.
Yeah.
He wouldn't take that back. And by the way, he doesn't need to take that back. That's not one of those comments he needs to take back when you take it in context. There are some where we see actual difference. The problem is Piers is a liberal at heart. He is a leftist at heart, and so he's playing identity politics with a guy who has already rejected it, and so is his fan base. And so when people say, oh, you're going to... Well, yeah, this is the kind of interview that amplifies him because one person seems sensible, and it's not...
There's a weird like Crowder Fuentes alliance happening right now, and it's reminiscent of like how Tucker and Fuentes were friends for like 5 minutes. I don't think it's gonna last. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about Crowder, but I just don't think he actually has any balls at all. So I don't think his like temporary friendship with Nick Fuentes is going to last very long, but we'll see. The Tucker thing definitely didn't last very long. Rex Jones says, Piers is highly trained and experienced at painting a narrative and appearing to remain neutral while he tears you down. Nick is the generational talent by far, and there's no question. However, his age and experience level do show you have to yell at Piers like AJ did. I don't think that's true. Let's watch this clip first here. This is the I'm fine being racist. We actually watched this one yesterday, but for full context, we'll watch it
I'm
again.
a new generation of white person. I'm not living around blacks. Sorry. You know, I want white kids, and I don't want my white kids bringing home black people to marry. It's racial for me. And call me racist. Oh, very Christian of you. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, it couldn't be clearer, really.
That was like a really, really big sticking point for our liberal sister-in-law who didn't come to Thanksgiving and all that kind of stuff. Is that me and Alice? She was grilling Allison, and she was like, "What?"
Wandering Neanderthal sent $10. The divorce radicalized him. We're on the punished Crowder arc now.
Maybe. I don't know. I think that a lot of these people, the sort of Con Inc. types, are floundering because everybody's moved on to somebody like Nick or Candace if you're a crazy person. If you're an insane schizo, you watch Candace. If you're like a race realist, you maybe watch Nick. At least before you would watch somebody like Crowder or Shapiro or Walsh or whatever. So I feel like it's partly just trying to like regain relevance. Like it's just a kind of like a cynical way of regaining relevance, but not actually changing. I don't think any of his values have actually changed. We'll see. I don't, like I said, I don't really know what's in Crowder's heart at all. So who knows?
Unless you want to say that's another of your jokes, but you're basically saying, yeah, I'm a racist, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You're fine with saying you're a racist?
Totally. I think everybody's racist. I think everybody, if we're being honest, is racist. I think everybody, the only people that aren't racist or pretend not to be are white people to their detriment. Everybody else is racist.
But earlier in the interview, you really got aggrieved at the idea that your father was a racist.
Because my father's...
He's not.
Because my father doesn't share my same views on that.
So he's the exception to everyone's a racist.
Well, everybody's a little bit racist.
He literally just said everybody except white people.
You're right. So
again, it's hard when you talk in generalizations and everybody who is like good faith knows what you mean, but you're dealing with a weasel who is just trying to like catch you up in contradictions. So you can't actually just speak in generalizations. You have to like add 17 caveats to everything you say, which obviously nobody wants you to do on a show like this. And then Piers, that's what Piers does, is he takes advantage of that. He's just a real piece of shit. I really can't stand Piers Morgan.
Maybe everybody. The difference is you're attacking my father. He can get fired from his job.
I'm not attacking your father.
You are.
No, I'm not. I don't know your father. And to be clear, I have no knowledge about him at all.
Well, then let's leave him out of it. Let's leave him out of it if you don't know him.
Hang on, Nick. You put that story into the public domain on your show. I'm simply reminding you of what you told everybody, millions of people, about your father. If you now want to retract it, fine. If you want to say it was a joke, which is what your position was earlier, fine. But I'm allowed to put to you things you've said publicly. That's not unfair.
Oh, they cut out the part. Nick was like, like, why don't you just leave my dad out of it? And he's like, oh, so you can talk about him and I can. It's like, well, he is Nick's dad. There is that. Wait, did we miss? What was the oh yeah, Alex Jones yelling at Piers. So I don't think that what is necessarily good for Alex Jones to do is good for Nick to do. Like, Nick's not like, he's not Alex Jones. He's not a big guy. He's not a big angry guy. So that wouldn't necessarily work for him. But let's watch what Alex did here just out of curiosity.
We have all of these foreigners and the Russian government, the official Chinese government. Mao said political power goes out of the barrel of a gun. He killed about 80 million people because he's the only guy that had the guns. So we did it to point out that this is globalism. And I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms. Doesn't matter how many lemons you get out
LP. If you ever go on Piers, he is going to bring up the coaxial cable since you said it publicly.
True.
On the street begging for them to have their guns taken. We will not relinquish them. Do you understand? That's why you're going to fail, and the establishment knows no matter how much propaganda, the Republic will.
And then he's going to do it's not your fault Goodwill Hunting. The Goodwill Hunting scene. I hypocrite. It's not your fault. I'd be like, I know. And he'd be like, no, you don't understand. It's not your fault.
Rise again when you attempt to take our gun.
How many gun murders were there in Britain?
How many great white sharks kill people every year, but they're scared to swim?
Right. How many gun murders were there in
I'll
Britain?
sometimes send $5. Hey LP. Having Christmas early with my family today due to scheduling conflicts.
That's crazy.
So can't stick around. Best wishes. Glad to see you watching this Nick Fuentes interview. Nick utterly embarrassed him. Totally worth the full 2-hour watch. Lol.
Thank you. Awesome time for the $5. Yeah, I kind of, last night I was like, I think I'll just watch the whole Piers thing on stream tomorrow, but I'm way too sick to do a long stream. And also there's all this other stuff with Tim Pool and Candace I also want to look at. So I decided to just opt for a few clips. But thank you for the $5.
Those statistics.
So this is like the same argument. They're talking about white school shooters and shit like that. And Alex Jones is like, yeah, how many great white sharks kill people?
I was only a few hundred.
No.
Anonymous sent $3. LP. Why liberals are the way they are like Piers?
Thank you for the $3. Jews brainwashed. You want the short answer? I'll give you the $3 answer. They've been brainwashed by Jews. Mostly in movies and TV shows.
I actually did pull up the statistics. Here, let me pull them out right here. I figured you'd do that.
Gun murders in Britain last year.
UK violent crime, capital of Europe, London Telegraph. Here, let me give you more.
It's quite a simple question.
Well, that's the oldest.
You're a very loud man.
That's the oldest Perry Mason tactic to ask me some little factoid.
It's not a little factoid.
I already said earlier,
we're talking about
England has a lot lower gun crime rate because you took all the guns.
Let me try exactly my
point. But you've got hordes of people burning down cities and beating old women's brains out every day.
Let's try again.
Must have been before the knife epidemic started. So obviously anybody now would talk about stabbing if they were having this conversation.
How many gun murders were there?
Oh, you're going to ban your fist now?
In Britain last year.
How many chimpanzees can dance on the head of a pin? I already went over those statistics.
Do you know the answer?
No, I don't.
You said hundreds.
It's very low.
You said hundreds.
Yes.
It's actually 35.
Well, the point is you can...
Against 11,000. Do you understand the difference between 11,000
Yeah, England
and
wants
35?
to ban knives now because tens of thousands are getting stabbed.
But do you understand the difference?
The knife doesn't kill people.
Do you understand?
The gun doesn't kill people.
Yes.
Listen, do you understand
between 35
you're not going to pull on America's heartstrings? They know...
Okay. I don't really think that's necessarily something Nick should be taking his cues from, but classic Alex. Have you ever had sex? No, absolutely not.
Just to clear up one of the many theories about you, I've no idea what the answer is and you haven't got to answer. But are you actually attracted to women?
I am attracted to women.
You're not gay?
No. But I will say that women are very difficult to be around.
Okay.
So there's that.
And do you think they should have the right to vote?
I do not. No, absolutely not.
They should stay at home.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
See, basically, you're just a misogynist old dinosaur, aren't you? For a young guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm the boomer. I know I'm the boomer here, but actually, you're a 27-year-old dinosaur, aren't you? Aren't you, Nick Fuentes? All women.
I am.
All women are annoying. All women grow
fossil.
old. They all get fat. Says the guy. Have you ever had sex?
No, absolutely not.
Wow. Says the guy who's never got laid.
Shit. Says the guy who's never got laid. And then somebody made this edit, which I thought was really funny. My uncle, when he sees I didn't bring a girlfriend home for Christmas.
But are you actually attracted to women?
I am attracted to women.
You're not gay?
No. But I will say that women are very difficult to be around.
Okay.
So there's that.
I mean, I know I'm the boomer. I know I'm the boomer here, but actually, you're a 27-year-old dinosaur, aren't you? Have you ever had sex?
No, absolutely not.
Wow. Says the guy who's never got laid. Are you?
That's so funny to me because I had uncles like exactly like that when I was a teenager. They'd be like, "Where's your girlfriend?" I'd be like, "Oh, I don't have one." They'd be like, "Oh, are you gay? Why are you gay?" Nick Fuentes is a 27-year-old loser.
If you are a fan of Nick Fuentes, I feel sorry for you. You find out he is a 27-year-old boy who has never had contact with a woman, but speaks on them every day, hates them, has admitted he hates them because of the lack of attention he receives because they know he is somebody to avoid. I mean, this guy stays in his house all.
I thought lip fillers was just for women. I didn't know dudes were getting lip fillers now. Look at look at those things, man. If you wanted to know why the expression I referenced earlier in the show, I'm not going to repeat it. But if you want to know why people said that, Exhibit A, Your Honor. Oh, I'm racist? Your Honor, Exhibit A.
Day because he knows the second he steps outside, it's danger. So he feels comfortable speaking about people in other races and women like this all day long because he never actually comes outside. Fact of the matter is Nick Fuentes is a loser, and if you support him, that makes you a loser as well. There's actual male role models out here that have accomplished something instead of the below mediocre guy that gets mad at everybody else and lashes out because of his lack of a.
The funny thing about the whole like he's a virgin LOL thing is like there's obviously like a lot of women who would be happy to get wifed up by Nick. Okay, and this brings us to the Piers Morgan wife's Instagram thing. This is posted by Wurzelroot. Oh, okay. I get it now why Piers was so pressed about equal rights. Piers Morgan wife, I wear the trousers. Celia Walden. She didn't even take his last name. Piers Morgan's life stories is back as a host of celebrities open up about their personal lives. His wife, Celia Walden, says she wears the trousers. I think women are always quietly in charge. I just think it's best to let the men think they are. Piers Morgan's wife, Celia Walden, took break from marriage, 6-week sabbatical. Piers Morgan's wife, Celia Walden, has revealed she took a 6-week sabbatical from her marriage and husband. Piers admitted that Celia has forgotten their anniversary every single year since they tied the knot in 2010. Speaking on ITV's Lorraine, he revealed, she's forgotten it for 9 consecutive years. It's just like I'm not in her airspace at all. What is this? The at-home father has a lot of time to train and get fit, and even posted a snap of himself vacuuming the house. It's weird because wasn't he making fun of people for dudes for like wearing the baby carrier thing? Piers Morgan's wife Celia fights to have male friends as talk TV star doesn't like it. All right, let's take a look at her Instagram. Reading Lenny's brilliant memoir and thinking back to a sunny Saturday in Paris, he'd taken a 3-year vow of abstinence at the time. Shame. On October 2020. So this is 10 years after married to Piers Morgan. Is that Lenny Kravitz? Is that who that is? Oh, yeah, it is. It says right here. So she posted how she's sad she didn't get to bang Lenny Kravitz. Presumably before she married her husband, but even that's not clear from what's posted. Him too. Catherine and I get handsy at our Christmas party. Bruno Toniolio, whoever that is. She's all over him. Oh my God. When the husband's away, Mr. Suds comes to play. Wanted pool boy. Applications now open. 2022, so 12 years married to Piers. Dude. Imagine your wife having an Instagram account. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Story time with Bruno Tolioli is always special and filled with laughter. Things got serious. He revealed he'd been struggling with a debilitating disorder, oversized male genitalia. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's got to be rough. All right. NCRI, which is the same think tank that published the Christ is King analysis, which Jordan Peterson, as you may recall, signed his name to. They've put out a new analysis about how Nick Fuentes is being boosted by abuse. How abuse of X's platform boosted Nick Fuentes. And then she posts the screenshot of Elon calling Nick a Fed, where Elon got brutally ratioed by Nick Fuentes. I'm not really going to spend a lot of time on this. The graphs are quite compelling. Just looking at the graphs here, like this orange bar is Fuentes. Mean retweets per 1 million followers within time. It's a little bit like lying with statistics, but that is a tall bar compared to the other ones. I just don't care. Okay, look, first of all, I've explained multiple times that anybody can bot anyone. So even if you could theoretically demonstrate that bots were like liking and retweeting, it doesn't prove that Nick has anything to do with it. And it's not right to punish people for that unless you can prove that they're the ones responsible. Now, this does talk about Nick like posting in his Telegram. Where is that one? Here. Okay, I'm assuming these are Telegram posts. It's not actually super clear from this tweet and screenshot, but like he'll post something and say retweet, 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 which he does on his Telegram. I've seen that. Just let me look real quick if there's anything. Nothing super recent, but like, so, right. So they'll coordinate stuff like that. There's obviously like groypers have their own group chats and discords and shit like that, where they like there's like a cross-pollination thing that will happen. Now, is that against the Twitter rules? It's very vague. I guarantee you lots of people do this kind of shit, where they're like, hey guys, can you go juice my tweet, you know? But is that against the rules? Who knows? Fuentes is an active coordinator of fake speech. What? So if he tells his followers to retweet him and they do, that's fake? I don't know. There's a difference between coordinated and fake. You can't just like group those two things together. As the preceding analysis demonstrate, the anomaly in Fuentes' online footprint cannot be explained by audience enthusiasm or media attention alone. After examining foreign amplification patterns, repeat anonymous retweeter networks, and the raid-like early velocity spikes documented earlier in this report, it is important to note that Fuentes himself plays an active, integral role in producing these effects across hundreds of episodes of his show. Oh, so those were him, like, so he would be looking at a tweet on his show. That's what that was. It was timestamps. These are timestamps of his, like, Rumble stream where he pulls up a tweet and then he says, retweet. Just retweet this main one. Retweet. We could do this stuff with the other one, but mainly juice this one. None of these are from 2025 for what it's worth. I don't know if he's like backed off of that behavior because it could get you banned. It's not clear. The rules aren't clear. Anyway, so that's the, like, you know, if he gets banned, it would be because of this, because like, oh, look, he asks people, he's doing a show and he asks people to retweet his tweet. It's like, is that, like, if that's against the rules, there's a lot of people who should be banned. Yeah, it's not botting. But he should probably kind of try to avoid that just to be safe. Or we should all ask for a clarification from Musk. Like, what is it against the rules to like post your tweet in Telegram and say, hey guys, go retweet me? I kind of talked about this already when Nick like took down Piers on the whole per capita thing, but it's like, people just like, he's obviously good at what he does, and so people like him. And I've met his followers in real life when I went to AFPAC, so I know like there's real followers, you know what I mean? Is some of the likes on Twitter botted? Maybe. There's no proof that he's doing that, and so it's like a nothing burger. You can't do anything with that. I will say that like Data Republican, I'll defend her a little bit. I don't know that much about her. I think she's just kind of too sweet and naive and new to this whole culture war thing. So she, you know, Piers Morgan knows, because he's been doing this he knows nobody gives a shit about being called racist. He's just, like I said, he doesn't care because he's at the finish line. I think she probably still thinks most people find racism abhorrent, and so she's trying to like reconcile like, how could this guy be so popular when he says blacks should be in prison or whatever. I think she's just trying to like, it's like the cognitive dissonance, you know, she's trying to like reconcile, like, how is this guy so popular when he says these vile things? I don't think she's like a bad actor necessarily. This is like an ADL fucking Jew group though. I will like these reports, not reliable and not good faith, like very like they're political enemies of Fuentes. They're not just randomly picking targets, you know what I mean? So really bad, really should stay away from these guys. Look at this. Contagion Research Institute, Joel Finkelstein, Mendel Zecker, Zach Dolberg, Alex Goldenberg. Just incredibly Jewish. And they got Jordan Peterson to put his name on the Christ is King report. Matt Walsh says, gotta call it like I see it here. I read through this report and I'm not convinced. It's a Soros-funded organization, which means I don't trust it to begin with. Also, the methodology seems weird to me. I know everyone wants to believe that Nick's popularity is inorganic and bot-driven, but the facts on the ground don't seem to support that theory. He gets a ton of live viewers on every show he goes on, including his own. That doesn't happen if your engagement is fake. Well, yeah, they're just, everywhere he goes, the bots follow. So the fact that the Piers Morgan interview has 3 million views and all the comments are super like pro Nick, bots. It's all bots. He's just followed by a huge swarm of bots everywhere he goes. And the fact that when he does that, it's like everybody on Twitter is talking about it. A lot of people praising him. It's all bots. All these like content creators, you know what I mean? Who talk about it. They're actually not even real people. They're just bots. Matt Walsh says, there's a lot of fake engagement in the podcasting and political commentary space. It's usually easy to spot. It's someone who only posts boring bullshit, has no real fan base, no influence, and yet randomly gets tons of retweets or views on content that no one seems to care about or talk about. That does not describe Fuentes as much. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like the fact that everybody talks about it is its own kind of counterproof. Okay. Gen X girl. Gen X girl goes hard on the Zios. Okay, so there's that. Milo, so Nick, I guess, replied to, I'm going to assume Elon Musk calling him a Fed. Said, I have testified to Congress under oath that I have never spoken to or cooperated with federal law enforcement. If you or dumbass Candace Owens have any proof otherwise, then you could call up your friend, the president, and get me charged for perjury. Go ahead, I'll wait. Milo says, another lie. He didn't answer the question. He pled the fifth. Check the transcript. I did. He pled the fifth to every question. That's what informants are told to do. I actually checked the transcript too myself. I made a video. It's a members video, but it's on YouTube and Odyssey and Locals. It's called Is Nick Fuentes a Fed? Or something like that. So I already know that they actually did answer this question. His lawyer answered for him, but that's the same thing. When your lawyer speaks on your behalf, it's the same thing as you saying it. And then so this guy like pulls it up, right? He did plead the fifth to most of it, but his lawyer did answer that question for him, right? I can represent that he has, to his knowledge, never been interviewed by any law enforcement, federal law enforcement, or any law enforcement, or turned over any of his devices or anything else. That's from his lawyer. And then at the start of the interview too, they also asked him if he ever worked for the government, and he said no. So this guy goes, actually they did answer that one. And then Milo goes, yeah. What? Yeah. Where's the community note on this tweet? It's like, because Milo's the one lying. Shocker, but Milo's actually the one lying here. And there's no way Milo didn't know that. There's no way Milo didn't actually comb through the transcript. He just knows that if he posts a link to it, no one's actually going to click on it. So it's not a lie at all. Your lawyer saying something on your behalf is the same thing as you saying it. That's what like attorney privilege is, or whatever it's called. Okay, and now a lot of people have been accusing Tim Pool of also lying about the shooting at his house or his compound, whatever, studio. Sorry guys, hold on. And I mean, I said this yesterday. I said I doubt it. I doubt he just made that up. Let me do a Google here. Tim Pool shooting. See what the latest is. Tim has pooled a Juicy Smollett, right? So people are accusing him of making this up. What if I do police statement? I saw a Grok saying that there was like some kind of police statement live now from Fox 2 days ago. Is there anything newer than that? He told me really dark stuff. Benny Johnson backs Tim Pool. What? Good old times of India. This guy called the police and the police said they hadn't heard anything, right?
Yeah, hi. So my name is Adam. I go by Adam the Angler online. I run like a very small content creator, accounts on like X and YouTube and whatnot. Anyways, Tim Pool had put out a post on X on December 6th around 8 a.m. saying that there was a shooting that took place at his compound, I guess, his residence / business. I have a possible address but I'm not 100%, but I just wanted to call and just verify that he has contacted you guys like he said, because something about this just doesn't add up to me. So yeah, I just wanted to see if he's being honest or not, basically.
Kid's dad sent $20 LP be like.
And so you see, our son was just playing a joke and the little fat kid put it on the milk carton.
Yes, I see.
Kenny, don't you think you owe the Thompsons an apology?
No, it was foolish for us to get our hopes up. It was just such a coincidence considering the photo. You may not have realized this, but Martha and I have buttocks where our heads should be.
Wait, how does this be?
Oh, Stephen, it's like it's all happening all over again.
Oh.
There now.
Oh, I get it.
Please, Mrs. Thompson, it'll be all right.
Yes, very funny.
Listen, the South Park Milk Company is the country's largest. We find lost children all the time. We can help you find Tommy with the Milk Company's database. Yes, we'll all.
Okay, I think we get it.
Just stop crying, please. For the love of God, stop crying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The only shooting I'm aware of is the murder we had up on the mountain.
I don't think it is fake.
Okay, yeah, no one would have been hurt necessarily. He said in his post that it happened around 1 a.m. on the 6th of December, saying that someone approached his property and allegedly fired 3 shots. But then he said that, what's that?
What's his name?
Tim Pool. He's like a fairly large content creator. He covers a lot of geopolitics and whatnot.
Okay.
And so I believe he lives within your jurisdiction, as far as I can tell. So I just
there are no calls associated with him. And a report was taken. So.
I'm sorry. Say that again. You said a report was taken.
I said I just ran his name in local. So if there had been
Information.
If he had reported a shooting that we responded
No
to
records.
in Jefferson County, it would have shown up in my system. And when I just ran his name, there was no calls associated with the shooting.
No record.
For shootings or and when I run his address, there's nothing coming up for it or his name.
Huh. Well, okay.
So there actually is no police station. Okay. Well, shit. Okay, so there is no statement of any kind of official investigation or anything. Authorities have not released a formal statement, likely because no official report was filed by Poole's team, despite his claims of coordinating with police and the FBI. Poole has not shared a case number, footage, or evidence to substantiate contact. Skepticism is growing on X, with users like Adam the Great attempting further verification but hitting roadblocks. Interesting. Okay, so all we have currently is Poole's word. Poole discussed his podcast potentially ending Timcast IRL due to rising security costs and death threats. So Candace had also tweeted and implied, as she does, Candace is the queen of making implications without actually saying it, but implied that maybe Tim was just making it up. And so Tim responded to that on his show, and he was pretty mad. He's pretty mad about it.
Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate cunt. She is burning everything down, and she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer.
Candace has no security. Is that true? Because that's crazy when the French government's trying to send Bitcoin assassins after her.
And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these fucking messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me like I did something for you as you cower, as you fucking cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which he's doing to me right fucking now.
Yeah, that was the...
I'm fucking done with these people.
She has security, just not on the level of you.
Oh, yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors. She doesn't give two fucking shits. No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy.
Spear.
And she doesn't give a shit about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my fucking property and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere. And I got fucking strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who trying to live there. How the fuck am I even supposed to sell this property? And you know, it's all lies. It's all hypocrisy. And it is for the purpose of making money. And she does not live the way other people live. And she claims she liked Charlie. She loved Charlie. And she is burning everything down that he built because she is evil. She is evil. And I'll say it again. This conservative movement is fractured. It's fried, whatever it is. Okay? Republicans are on track to lose the midterms. They were actually trending the other direction until Charlie Kirk was murdered.
Yeah.
And this is the point, isn't it? The most effective political assassination in history. And thanks to the likes of the vile cunt Candace Owens.
The most effective political assassination in history.
He's malding hard.
I don't know if he has any hair left to mold, but thank you for the $5. It's like saying, I don't know. It sounds like the most secured election in history. Like that, there's something about that phrase that is strange. The way it just rolled off his tongue.
She has turned Turning Point into the perpetrators of the crime that was against them. I don't get paid by any of these people. I'm not on good terms necessarily with Turning Point USA. They didn't invite me to their stupid event. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. They invited me back after I started criticizing Candace. I'm not going to your event. I'm over all of this shit. The last thing that I need to deal with is a bunch of cowards in conservative media refusing to stand up to her. Megyn Kelly, come on. I appreciate the kind words, but come on. Such fucking pathetic bullshit. You know, and I get people saying, Tim, you know, thank you so much for talking about it. I don't care. I'm not doing a favor for anybody. I'm not doing this to benefit anybody. Nobody's paying me. There's no fucking Russia. There's no fucking Israel. There's just me sticking my neck out and then risking dying for what? A bunch of cowards that don't want to stand up to protect themselves? People like fucking Candace Owens?
I couldn't believe that she put you in the thumbnail.
What a fucking cunt.
Of her piece today.
I'm done.
The idea that she'd
I'm
imply
done.
that you had some benefit or that you benefit somehow. Like
she benefited. I think she's a Fed and I think she killed Charlie. No one benefited more than her.
Damn, really jumped the shark at the end there. He's trying to get her killed. I wish Tim were that angry about Trump selling out the country and movement to Jews. Seemed like a whistle for violence against Candace. Mockingbird clown royal. I was kind of thinking something along those lines myself listening. Like
Candace Owens
like
is
all these fucking people who never say anything meaningful. And like there is like a real kind of K-fab feeling to it. I don't know. I just don't think any of these people really matter. Specifically like Tim Pool and Candace Owens. Turning Point as well. Candace replied, she said, she quote tweeted Chief Trumpster. She said, he is genuinely not well right now. I wouldn't turn this into a cheap internet moment. There is just so clearly something personal going on in his life. It's hard to run a business and he's under pressure. Pray he comes through it. Little bit of tactical class from Candace Owens. Very, very good strategy. Take the high ground. At a time like this. And okay, and then Candace replied to her own tweet and she said, oh wait, this is a different tweet. Let's see. Podcast Wars 2025 has officially begun. This is the same clip.
Shift in the political leanings of a generation. Young people causing a shift in the political leanings of a generation for the first time in history is now in dire straits. Their leader and founder murdered, and prominent pieces of human trash are trying to destroy it. It's fucking evil. So you know what? When someone pulls in front of my property and fires on it several times, I'm sitting here looking at these vile pieces of shit and thinking to myself, for what purpose will I stick my neck out if this is what happens after Charlie Kirk is killed? Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate cunt.
All right, we've heard all the rest. That I do like that part, though. I do like that part of the rant. I cannot explain it, but I sense that this isn't actually about me and that Tim Pool is under tremendous financial pressure. Men behave a certain way when they are under economic pressure, and I feel like he's just lashing out, and I happen to be here. There's some truth to that. As a man, I can confirm that it's not fun to be under financial pressure. On that note, I genuinely hope that whatever it is, he gets through it, but I can guarantee that blaming the future 2026 GOP midterm results on Candace Owens is not the solution. Now, Tim Pool... And I listened to I caught a little bit of Nick's super chats last night, and somebody had asked him about the Tim Pool crash out or whatever, and Nick said it was awesome. Nick is like very anti-Candace, so Nick thought like, yeah, it was a really good like takedown of Candace Owens. I'm kind of like anti all these people, but again, there's like other than Nick, there's like a funny like I mentioned with the Nick Fuentes, Steve Crowder friendship. There's like a Nick Fuentes, Tim Pool alliance forming now around being anti-Candace. He tweets this A-Tune screenshot who's like a Groiper adjacent dude. Candace Owens' new video, who benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination. Meanwhile, her last 20 videos with millions of views, each all about Charlie. Tim Pool says, why does Candace refer to herself in third person and or plural? She always says we and us. Anyway, it's a shame they can't all lose. And speaking of Tim Pool, there was a brief shot of a guy on the show from yesterday. This is another clip from that show. This is Shane Cashman. He says, there was a demonic presence on IRL last night. God told me to read scripture.
For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. That's from 2 Timothy 1:7. Alad.
Wow, Shane, that was powerful. Thanks for saying that.
I feel like Shane has been quiet, and I'm curious your thoughts on not just to say like, hey, everything that's going on we're talking about, but just like where we're going.
I just feel compelled to say, rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say, rejoice. Let your gentleness be known to all men. The Lord is at hand. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. Let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses...
Another Christ cuck making theatrics. Hold that thought, because you're about to... Hold that. Stick around. Hey, pagan LARPer, stick around and hold that thought, because you're about to be humiliated as usual.
Is all understanding, and will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus.
I asked Raymond. I think personally, and again, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I think anyone who thinks they have a relationship with God has an extremely huge ego. I think we're all specks of sand to the real prime creator, and the only time he's going to deal with us is when we pass on to the next lifetime. Then he judges us. We all will be judged. I don't see any point of the worst.
So this is Gary, the numbers guy. He is a Jewish numerologist, and he's Myron's manager from Fresh and Fit. And look at the way he squirms. Look at the way he squirms in response to scripture. Look at how uncomfortable he is.
Or any of this other
I will
stuff.
say then, submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
Resist the devil. He points to the Jewish guy.
4:7.
Oh, I mean, listen, I'm not...
I will say then, and give no opportunity to the devil. Ephesians 4:27.
He interrupts him. Give no opportunity to the devil.
Oh, I mean, listen, you can read a book that's 2,000
I will
years
say,
old,
whoever makes a practice of sinning is of the devil, and for the devil has been sinning from the beginning. The reason the Son of God appeared was to destroy the works of the devil. 1 John 3.
Brother, for 2,000 years, people thought Jesus was coming back, and he still isn't there. So what does that make all those people who died waiting for him?
I will say, behold, I have given you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall hurt you.
Behold the pale horse. And they keep saying he's coming back, so, I mean...
You sound awfully quiet over there. As our resident outside-of-the-box thinker, what do you think of numerology?
I think be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. Resist him, firm in your faith, knowing that the same kinds of suffering are being experienced by your brotherhood throughout the world.
Wow.
Shane,
1 Peter 5:8-9.
Shane has wrapped himself in the armor of the Lord tonight.
That sounded nice.
That's legit.
Armor
That's
of the
actually,
Lord.
I don't know.
I mean, we have a whole bunch of people questioning numerology, but they're willing to believe the Bible and Quran with no evidence.
We have a whole bunch of people questioning numerology, but they're willing to believe the Bible and Quran with no evidence. Isn't there one you left out there? The Bible and Quran? Any other religions out there you want to talk about? Any other religions out there you want to shit on? No?
I think half of the people here wouldn't even consider themselves Christian. Like, I
got one more thing to add before I go. Just want to say, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, so that at the proper time he may exalt you, and I'm praying for you.
Please don't pray, because when you pray, you become prey. Thank you.
I will. Despite that, I will pray for you, sir. Thank you very much. I'll see you all later.
I do not accept your prayers, but thank you.
That's Shane Cashman headed.
So much pushback with the numerology and astrology, but it doesn't seem like anyone wants to push back on a religion.
You don't
Interesting how that works.
You don't sound half as ridiculous as he.
Well, but like,
you don't
Interesting
sound
how that works.
You don't sound half as ridiculous as he.
Well, but
Who is this guy? Elad, barely informed. Is he Jewish? What is that?
Like, you don't
Interesting
sound
how that works.
You don't sound half as ridiculous as he.
Well, but like,
Right, the guy who thinks that the magic numbers tell him the future doesn't sound as ridiculous as the guy quoting God's word. Hey, Grok, what's up with that barely informed Elad guy? Is he Jewish or what?
Nah, Mircea Eliade wasn't Jewish. He was Romanian Orthodox Christian, born in Bucharest to Romanian parents. Some folks dig into his early fascist ties in Romania for anti-Semitic vibes, but his actual religion was straight up orthodox. Barely informed guys? Yeah. Come off that way sometimes. Cherry picking myths.
Okay, hang on. I'm talking about the YouTuber Elad. I don't know his real name, but he has a show called Barely Informed with Elad. Is he a Hebe?
Oh, gotcha. My bad on the Eliade mix-up earlier. Yeah, the guy behind Barely Informed with Elad is Elad Nehorai. He's Jewish. Used to be Chabad.
No. No.
Very interesting. One more observation in my Jew log.
I have no idea. This guy has the, I don't know who the Shane Cashman guy is, okay, but he's got the Timcast affiliate badge, and he edited this video, and he clearly, so he showed Elad saying that 3 times to make the point to the audience, right? So he clearly knows what he was doing there. Dude, I've seen that Elad guy's videos several times over the years. I never thought to myself, oh, he's Jewish or whatever. I never cared enough to check, but this thing's still listening to me. No. But the way he edited that, I was like, wait a minute, is this guy Jewish? He knew exactly what he was doing. He's also ethnically Jewish? Dude. Is there anybody in media? Is there anybody in the high levels of media who's not Jewish? Tales from the Inverted World show. Too bad. I wanted to like him. That was funny, though. Okay. Hey, Nick Fuentes, catch from Ian Carroll. So I thought the peak of I thought the Charlie Kirk conspiracy shit was kind of, oh, my camera died. That's what that beeping was. Yeah, I forgot to turn it off last night after my Magic stream. Hold on. Let me just turn that off. Let me get my statue up there. There you go. What about my smoke? Whatever. Okay, we're not gonna go too much longer here. I thought the Charlie Kirk conspiracy theory shit was kind of over, but apparently not. There's some people who just refuse to let us move on. One of those people, I guess, is Ian Carroll.
And I saw Ian Carroll came out today on a live stream pleading with me to join in on the conspiracy. If you think that, I feel sorry for you. Because you are retarded.
Actually, Nick, I wasn't pleading with you to join in on anything. I was asking or encouraging you to clarify your position on this whole thing. And oh boy, did you clarify it. And I suppose the only way that I can put it is that you clarified that you stand firmly with the Fed slop narrative that Tyler Robinson is the guy. And Tyler Robinson alone apparently murdered Charlie Kirk. And honestly, I wasn't trying to call you a Fed. I wasn't trying to shit on you. I was trying to actually be quite gracious and quite kind. I praised you multiple times throughout that segment. But in the spirit of your response, in the spirit of calling people retarded who have been going through the evidence for months, where I have seen you produce zero, I thought that I would put it all very plain and very clear for you, Nick. Where
listen to all these fucking conspiratards in the chat. You're the same people who watch Candace videos. God, I can't even talk. Candace Owens video about Brigitte, and we're like, dude, Brigitte's a man. That's fucking Macron's dad. He married his dad. You guys, the problem with you guys is it's not hard to convince you of stuff because you don't have a healthy skepticism or a high IQ. That's the problem. You know who has a high IQ? JF, Gary Epi. And he did a ballistics analysis. He posted an hour-long video. I'm not going to watch it, obviously. But he posted an hour-long video, and he says, Brigitte is a man, dude. Are you for real? What Radio Sack? Are you saying whoa because I called you out for having a low IQ? You triggered because I called you stupid because you believe this stupid shit? Is he being for real? Get the fuck out of here, you fucking faggot. Get the fuck out of my life forever. Fucking retard. Fucking asshole always in the chat. Pushing slop, pushing conspiracy slop, never sends a super chat. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking faggot. Fucking whiny fucking faggot. Is he for real? JF did a ballistics analysis and said that it's actually totally reasonable that it is a bullet. Somewhere in here he shows videos of bullets doing that. Okay, you can watch his video. I do not care about this shit nearly enough to... Oh, Julian L, are you trying to get banned again too? You want some of this? Shut the fuck up, whiny bitch. What did he do wrong? You know what? The fuck out of here, Julian. The fuck out of here. Shut up. Shut up. You guys always act like you're fucking like you're speaking truth to power when you whine in the fucking chat about why is he doing this? Why is he banning people? Fuck off. Just shut the fuck up. I do not care about this shit nearly enough to watch a 1 hour video analyzing it. When are you going to be, dude? I can't believe I haven't banned you yet. I can't believe it. I was going to talk about some of them, all like how stupid the replies are to this, but I've really lost interest in doing the rest of the show. I'll leave with this. Hopefully that pagan guy is still here. The only authorized biography of Hitler, it was written specifically for an English speaker in 1938 for English speakers. I think he meant to say not Anne. The only authorized biography of Hitler was written specifically for English speakers in 1938. Good read with interesting first-hand accounts describing Hitler. I ordered this from Ostera Publications. Pagans, but they have some good books. The last page compares National Socialism to Christianity. Germany's Hitler, the only authorized biography by Heinz Heinz. Let's check the last page. The future belongs to National Socialism since, like Christianity itself, it is founded on love and reconciliation between high and low, rich and poor. Herein lies its special creative and effective power. Marxian socialism, on the contrary, flourishes on class clash and hatred. It is anti-Christian and destructive. The world will come to the recognition of all this in time. It may be decades will be required before the truth of the contention is established beyond cavil. What is that word? Cavil? Cavil? Make petty or unnecessary objections. Got it. I always learn new words when I'm reading Hitler. Poltroon, woeful poltroons. Later generations will consider the period of Marxism, socialism as an interlude out of which purgatory the world emerged into the truer and beneficent conception of Adolf Hitler. So there you go, pagan LARPers. Plus one for the Christians on the board. All right. I'm going to call it a day. We had some other funny stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what to do. This clip of Matan calling clavicular gay over and over is pretty funny. You should find it on Twitter if you haven't seen it. Usually I watch the movie on Friday and then I do the Murdoch stream on Saturday. The Murdoch stream is definitely on Saturday. I just think I might do the movie stream on Thursday instead, because Friday is like when we play videos and I make the most money in the week. So I'll think about it tomorrow. But I might not be on YouTube on Thursday. We'll see. If I'm doing the movie stream, we'll see. I'm just letting you know. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you to the people sending the donos. Appreciate it. Have a good day. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace out.